Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know where it is you are tuning on to the Life Signatures Radio, but thank you so much for tuning in. I'm hoping that you're going to be blessed. Your socks will be blessed and you'll be inspired and you'll be motivated and you'll be made to scratch your head a little bit and so on. And you'll probably stick it to the end. It's just about 15 minutes or less and so on. We are in the middle of a series. Actually, this podcast is always about purpose, productivity, and resilience. And we're in the middle of a series when we are talking about regression. In fact, we're talking about embracing regression. We're saying, where is the potent power in being patient as you regress? If you are a champion, you will understand exactly what I am talking about. Regression is part and parcel of our lives. So yesterday actually, we started building a small foundation onto the message of regression, and we saw what Michael Jordan said and so on. But today, let us continue building this up even as we move on. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
When you talk about regression, it's easy for you to lose a crowd. You know why? Because people always want to progress. That's why, listen to this carefully. That's why on December 31st, very many Christians and very many religious people, they gather together in houses of worship. And guess what they're waiting for? They're waiting for these positive, powerful proclamations on how the year is going to turn about. And they're waiting for one man of God, one prophet or another to say something positive. Let me tell you this. Listen to this. There is always a problem when all a prophet is talking about is positives. Check out your prophet next time. When all the prophet is talking about are positives, there is a problem. And I know, of course, the ministry of the prophet has some modes of encouragement. Yeah, there's some encouragement in there. But it's balanced. It's a balanced message. It's a balanced ministry. When good things are happening, they will prophesy the good things. But they will also warn. They have been known to warn a lot. Said, if you don't do XYZ, whatever it is, ABC will happen to you. That's what prophecy is all about. So people gather together on houses of worship on the fast, and they do not want to hear anything negative. They do not want to hear someone say, this year is going to be filled with drought. There will be a lot of scarcity in the year 2024. Nobody wants to hear that. They said, that guy is a quack. He did not hear from God. I cancel it in Jesus' name. I don't accept it. Let me tell you guys this just simply this. It's a fact of life. Even when God calls you an overcomer, you cannot overcome nothing. You cannot overcome where there is nothing. That's what I meant. You cannot overcome where there is no opposition. Even when God calls you, you are more than a conqueror. It presupposes that there's gotta be an enemy you're fighting. So we are talking about regression. as part and parcel of life. And let me just make it clear for us to understand. It is not a straight line regression. It is not a straight line from the moment you're born and so on. It is a season, a small season of life that will keep repeating itself. The way I regressed 10 years back is not the same way I'm regressing. I'm regressing at a higher level. Now you gotta listen to me carefully. Today I'm regressing at a higher level than I used to regress when I was, 17. Because there's always growth. We're always growing. But in the growth, somewhere inside our growth, there will be seasons and moments where we will regress. And yesterday we said some parts of this regression is purely because we are human. We are not perfect. The more you understand this, the more you embrace that. When you see a regression coming into your life, a setback, I talked about this in my first book, Turn Your Setbacks into Major Comebacks. When a setback comes into your life, you recognize that this is a season. Actually, I created a cycle, and I say that we go through 4 cycles, if I can remember very well. There's a moment just before a crisis comes. We know the crisis is coming. There is intelligence. We know. You see it in your bank account. You see it in the figures in your company. You just know somebody's gonna be fired, or we're going to get a pay cut, and you just know it's a moment before it comes. And then the second level is that it comes. It enters into your life. It starts. The beginning of a crisis. Just before a crisis, it's a fast. And then the beginning of a crisis. And then the third one is the difficult part. It is during the crisis. You've prayed it off. You've tried to fast. You've called a prophet. You've gone to the Holy Land. You've prayed on the Wailing Wall. You've come back. The problem is still there. That is the third phase. Regression is there. And then the fourth phase is after the crisis has come. And then the cycle repeats itself throughout life. That's it. What am I communicating? I am telling you, if you're going to sit back and look or trying to build a life where it lacks regression, let me tell you, you are going to be disappointed big time. Life will always have a form of regression. Even in the middle of growth, there will be regression. And what we need to do is to be patient in that moment, because there are very many things we do. And I'm going to talk about some of those things. What we shouldn't do. There are some things we shouldn't do when we're regressing. And I'm going to talk about them and try to create some balance. But it's important for us to be patient. Yesterday we said that regression is part and parcel of us because, number one, we're human. And today let me just say this. The second reason why we're going to have regression in our lives is because we are not fully in control of everything in our lives. We are interconnected, interdependent, intertwined. Mark Zuckerberg depends on you to sign up for Facebook. We are intertwined, we need each other, and so on. There are some things that are not in full control. Mark Zuckerberg might not be in full control of governance where Facebook is operating. For example, for instance, in Uganda, Facebook has been banned for 3 years now. If you wanted to access Facebook in Uganda, you will use a VPN. Are you getting what I'm saying? We are intertwined, we are needy. So if you look, if Mark Zuckerberg was looking for an optimal performance, he will not get it. At some level in time, at some point in time, let me say that, at some point in time, Facebook in Uganda regressed. Why? Because He is not fully in charge of everything. You will find some regression in your life because you're not totally, completely 360 degrees and multi-dimensional in control of everything in your life. That's why sometimes some things are outside of your control and they go awry. I always wanted to say that word, awry. I always said awry until someone told me, it's awry, you guys, awry. You cannot always be in control of everything in your life. Sometimes things go awry. Yeah, and that's where regression comes in. It teaches us one thing or another. So, what am I communicating in the episode today? That we need to understand that regression is part and parcel of our lives. It is part and parcel of our lives that there is going to be regression even in a growth trajectory, an upward trend. If you study the graphs on stock markets and the forex trading and so on, even in the upward trend, when the graph is going up, there will be moments of regression even when it's going up. That's what life is all about, ladies and gentlemen. See, our biggest problem, one of our biggest problems is that we want a diagonal straight line going up. As in, we are going from glory to glory, power to power, and so on. That's not what happens in life. Even in the moments of growth, there will be moments of depression. You may not use that word, depression. There will be moments of regression, even when we're growing up. So our psyches have got to understand that. So that when the season, it's a season. Sometimes it's a tiny season. It could be a week. Sometimes a month. Sometimes actually it's a year. It could be 1 year of regression. And you are thinking your life has come to an end. And you are fighting it like a man fighting bees. I want to just put this thing in perspective. First of all, understand that it is life. Okay? One of the things that make humans to be greedy and ruthless is because they want to exercise regression completely out of their graph. I used to have a friend back in church, in Nairobi Lighthouse Church, who used to say, I hate having graphs in my life. And she was talking about her prayer life, that today I am up, I'm praying and so on, and tomorrow I'm not praying, and then so on. It's like a graph. I don't want graphs. Well, she used to be called Kaimuri. I think she's still there. Now, Kaim, let me tell you something. You are not fully in control of everything. Sometimes you might fall sick. Sometimes your boss might send you somewhere. Sometimes the plane might delay. I know we can move heaven and earth and make sure that there are no graphs, but it will be an exercise in futility to think that we will not have regression in our lives at all. Tomorrow we continue discussing this interesting topic. I love it. But until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.